Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Kay of Cattle Buyers Weekly, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture about 30 minutes ago released its latest cattle on feed report, and obviously in light of the gyrations in the market, even this week, some people may believe that the cattle on feed reports are of less importance than they normally would be. I think this is a significant report. I think each of them has been because it gives us the best view possible of what's coming up on the fundamentals, and it looks like perhaps we are returning to the fundamentals just a little bit. The cattle on feed numbers came down like this. The December 1 total, and this is in feedlots 1,000 head and over, 11.345 million head. That was 93.8% of a year ago. Placements in November into feedlots 2.015 million head, 94.8%, and marketed in November 1.575 million head, that was 90.6%. Now, I regard the report as somewhat positive because of the larger than expected November marketings, although the November placements were just a little bit higher than expected. USDA's marketing number was 1.8% higher than analyst average forecast, so that was a good surprise there. The placement number was 1% higher as well than the average forecast, but that doesn't mean a whole lot because it was still fairly low. Now, this meant that the cattle on feed total came in fractionally under the average forecast. November, I think, is notable because it was the fourth month in a row of lower placements with a year-on-year decline that I've calculated for the 4 months since July of 589,000 head. And that's the 9th month in a row apart from July, which had a slight increase of 2.4% year-on-year. Cattle feeders again placed fewer cattle because of the massive losses. We've all reported how they've lost a record amount of money this year. Tighter borrowing requirements because of the credit crisis, and also a belief that feeder cattle prices will go lower in the first quarter of 2009, obviously with more cattle still outside feedlots waiting to be placed. I think it was again interesting, as in October, the entire decline in November placements came in the under 700-pound categories, the lighter categories. They were down 150,000 head, or 11.2%. from the same month last year, and conversely, the heavier category, 700-pound plus, was 40,000 head, or 5.1% higher. All the major feeding states showed cattle on feed numbers well below last year. Texas down 7%, Kansas down 8%, Nebraska down 6%, and Colorado down 6%. There were 3 states, New Mexico, South Dakota, and Washington, of the 12 listed states that had higher December 1 cattle on feed totals. The marketing breakdown certainly didn't show us anything. I think, again, feeders just about every day where did a pretty good job. The only other thing I would add is that despite the positive tone of this report, I think there's some concern that we're not going to market so many cattle as we would like going forward. Part of that is because of the holiday decline in kill levels, and if we take last week as well as this week, and then the next 2 weeks, which are both holiday weeks, I've calculated that based on my forecast of slaughter over the next 2 weeks, that we could, the packers could kill about 155,600 fewer cattle over this 4-week period than last year, and that is obviously of some concern. We've seen a real struggle by packers to get any higher prices for the beef, and if they come into January and can still have a real struggle to do that, January kills could be lower, at least start the month lower than expected. And that's my big concern at the moment, is that we're going to start backlogging cattle. Whatever the cattle on feed report says today, we're going to start backlogging cattle and come into February, March with a lot more cattle to market. So with those comments, I want to wish everybody happy holidays, stay warm, and have a very successful 2009. Thank you very much.